loves being in love. Jen told him he was the love of her life and they would be together forever, but said, quote, "That was 3 husbands and 5 engagements ago. There's actually been 4 marriages and 6 engagements."
You gotta love yourself. You gotta love, like, I was on that journey of trying to figure out what it was to love yourself.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I could never really have true love in my life again until I figured that piece out. That is the most important piece. I don't think he's very comfortable with me doing all of this, but he loves me. He knows I'm an artist and he's gonna support me in every way he can because he knows this. He can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't, and that's gonna happen. And he doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that, but that doesn't mean he's kind of comfortable being the muse and being...
Jen was really inspired by this experience, which is how artists do their work. They get inspired, their personal life, it moves you. I know as a writer and director, I certainly do the same things. But things that are private, I had always felt, are sacred and special because, in part, they're private.
J-Lo's love life is making headlines again, and just when we thought she and Ben Affleck were finally settled into their happily ever after, it seems the fairy tale might be coming to an end. Rumour has it they're about to file for divorce any day now, just a few months after J-Lo released her documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, where she raved about how Ben was the one. But let's be honest, hasn't J-Lo said this about every man she's dated or married? It almost seems like she's more in love with the idea of love itself than with the actual people she's with. So what's really going on here? Is J-Lo just addicted to romance, or is there something deeper and darker beneath the surface? Enter her first husband, Ojani Noa, who has some juicy details to share, and they are quite the bombshell. He claims that the only person J-Lo has ever truly loved is, believe it or not, herself. And here's something interesting. Ojani Noa, J-Lo's first husband, predicted that her 2021 reunion with Ben Affleck wouldn't last. At the time, everyone dismissed him as just a jealous ex, but now it looks like he might have been onto something. And it gets even more dramatic. An old interview with Ojani has resurfaced, and he's not just revealing secrets, he's spilling everything. According to him, J-Lo has been involved in some strange practices to keep her relationships going. We're talking about dark magic and love spells. Yes, that's right. Ojani is claiming that J-Lo uses witchcraft to keep her romantic life alive. It sounds unbelievable, but in Hollywood, anything can happen, right? So what exactly did Ojani reveal about J-Lo's love life, and how did he know that Ben would be the next one to leave? Let's dive into it.
This was something of an adjustment for me.
But she still got her beauty, her booty, and her bank account, so bye boy to him. Bobby, this isn't about me and you. Bobby, take that out.
No, this is
That is not part of the script.
Jennifer Lopez has had her fair share of high-profile romances and a series of marriages that could leave anyone's head spinning. But with rumours swirling about her imminent divorce from Ben Affleck, it's the perfect time to take a messy trip down memory lane and look at what J-Lo's other exes have shared about what really makes this self-proclaimed hopeless romantic tick when it comes to love.
I was never used to being alone. I had a big family. I had cousins and my aunts and my grandma, and they'd all always be around. And so when I went off on my own, I realized how uncomfortable I was being alone. I had to learn how to do that,
But so what was the fear? Because this is related to you wanting to be in show business and in the limelight, right?
I don't know that it does. I mean, some people would make that very simple connection because it is an easy one to make. Oh, she doesn't like being alone, so she likes being surrounded by a lot of people. And that's an easy way to be surrounded by a lot of people, but I never felt like that was my drive.
Let's go back to 1997, when Jennifer Lopez was just starting to make a name for herself in Hollywood with her breakout role in Selena. That same year, she married her first husband, Cuban actor and producer Ojani Noa.
Jennifer Lopez, how wonderful. And congratulations, you just got married.
Yes, I just got married. Been married a month and 4 days.
How long did you two know each other?
For a year. It's enough. I didn't need much convincing.
However, J-Lo and Ojani's marriage was brief, ending just 11 months later. Ojani didn't just fade into the background, though he planned to write a tell-all book about their relationship. J-Lo wasn't having it though, and she sued him, winning the case and stopping his book from being published. The plot thickens when Ojani later revealed that jealousy was a significant factor in their breakup. J-Lo had started publicly dating P. Diddy while still married to Ojani. Ojani said that when he asked J-Lo about going out with Diddy, she claimed it was just business and something she had to do. He admitted he was jealous and upset, but his jealousy turned out to be justified since J-Lo did indeed date Diddy publicly for 2 years. I felt a strong connection, you know what I mean? The chemistry between us was undeniable, but she was married at the time and I was in a relationship as well, so I had to keep things under control. We ended up just being friends. Both of us were dancers, ambitious and workaholics, and at first, all of that worked in our favor. Then, we had a rehearsal where we had to hold each other for a salsa dance.
My own sparks, you know what I'm saying? Look at honey, my sparks was just flying all off me. She was married at the time, so I was in my own relationship, so I had to have self-control. And then we just became friends. I was a dancer, she was a dancer. I was ambitious, she was ambitious. I was a workaholic, she was a workaholic. At first, all of those things was working in our benefit. Then we had this rehearsal where we had to like hold each other like this, you know, we was gonna do some salsa dancing. And then, so I'm holding like this, then I look up and I look into her eyes and I just fell in love from right then and there. It was just like the first time I fell in love, like love at first sight.
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know, ick. I didn't like him because, you know, Sean and I were very different that way. You know, I was very like family oriented and that's how I was raised. Once I got to know him and, you know, we became friends first and then we developed this bond. We both understood where we were at that time in our lives, and we both knew nobody else understood exactly how we felt. So in that way.
As for Diddy, he later told people in 2006 that out of all the high-profile relationships he's had, Jennifer Lopez was one of the great ones. But is that really a compliment coming from Diddy? Given what we know about him now being called great by Sean Diddy, Combs might feel more like a red flag than a compliment. Anyway, let's move on to J-Lo's next public romance and marriage, her second marriage to dancer Chris Judd. J-Lo and Chris met on the set of her Love Don't Cost a Thing music video, shortly after her breakup with Diddy in 2001.
So when Jennifer walks in, I shake her hand and we kind of look at each other. I'm like, oh, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna marry this woman. That's what I said to myself. I'm like, holy crap.
J-Lo and Chris Judd had a whirlwind romance and got married in the same year they met. However, J-Lo filed for divorce less than a year later. Chris later suggested that J-Lo didn't really put much effort into their marriage, telling Us Weekly, "I can't say why her relationships don't last. I think it's because it takes work. When you get married, you can't just walk away." He also mentioned that living their relationship out in the public eye was challenging, though J-Lo wasn't exactly trying to keep things private. J-Lo and Chris Judd had a fast-paced romance and got married the same year they met. But J-Lo filed for divorce less than a year later. Chris later hinted that J-Lo didn't really try to make their marriage work, telling Us Weekly, "I can't say why her relationships don't last. It's because it takes effort. When you get married, you can't just walk away." He also talked about how difficult it was to handle their relationship in the public eye, although J-Lo wasn't exactly trying to keep things private.
I couldn't hold it down anymore, and there I was about to go on set, and I was just like, something's happening. I don't know what's happening. And it was just an anxiety attack of some sort or a nervous moment. And I was like, I just feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what's happening. Help me, you know? And my mom was like, what's wrong? Are you scaring me? I was like, no, I don't know. And I was like, and I started talking, and all of a sudden I said, I don't think I can be okay.
What do you think about J-Lo's complicated love life and the comments from her first husband, Ojani Noa? Do you believe there could be any truth to the witchcraft rumors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't miss the next video.